In order to register for the NGO Forum for the Commission on the Status of Women, you'll need to register specifically for the Pathable platform that the forum will be using this year for the commission. In order to do that, you'll come to this website, which is, as you can see in the top left corner, ngocsw.org/NGO-CSW65. From this main screen here, scroll down to this big blue rectangle and see the button linking to register for the forum. Follow that button, and it will lead you automatically to a registration page on a platform you may be familiar with called Eventbrite. Once the Eventbrite page has loaded, you'll see you're here registering again for the NGO CSW65 forum, and you'll see you're registering as an advocate. And you'll just look for this green button off to the right that says register. Click on that and wait again while it takes you to the page that will ask for you to select that you would like one ticket. And here you'll see there's an option to make a donation to the NGO Committee on the Status of Women that organizes this forum. However, the forum itself is free of charge. And so you have no obligation to add any amount and subsequently give any type of financial details unless you feel particularly moved that you would like to make a contribution to that committee. But the event itself has no cost attached to it. So all you need to select on this page is the number 1 under number of tickets, and then select checkout, this orange rectangle toward the center bottom of the screen. On the next page, you'll be asked for your contact information. So you'll be asked to provide a first name, a last name, and your email address, which you'll have to fill in twice. You want to put in the same email address for both of these boxes. So that's simply just for confirmation to make sure there's no error in your email address. And then scroll down and provide that same information again, first name, last name, and email address. They ask for a company here in this box. You may choose to put your congregation or your NGO name. However, you're not required to write anything in this box at all. It is optional. And finally, you will want to select that you are registering as an advocate. It is the only way to complete the registration page. It was just kind of a quirk of the Eventbrite platform that they needed to have you select this option. So do check this first circle under registration type beside the word advocate. These 2 boxes that are automatically checked here have to do with receiving automatic updates from NGO CSW and from Eventbrite itself. I would recommend that you uncheck both of those boxes, but if you do leave one checked, perhaps the first one, if you want other updates and events from NGO CSW. However, I again would recommend not unselecting both of those boxes so that you don't find that you're receiving an excessive number of email messages as a result of this registration. So now that I have filled in my own contact information here, I've selected advocate, I've deselected both of these email update options. I will now go again to this orange button at the bottom that says register to complete my registration for the forum. And finally, I arrive at this confirmation page, ensuring me that I have indeed completed the process. And I am now registered as an NGO CSW65 forum advocate. And as you can see here, there's a message that my ticket with all relevant links to reach the platform where the forum will happen has been sent to the email address that I gave them, which is written right here. A few hours after you submit your registration on Eventbrite to participate in the NGO CSW forum for this year, you should receive an email in your inbox used at the address that you indicated on your Eventbrite registration form. And you will see that will be coming from the sender NGO CSW/NY. That's NGO CSW/New York. And the subject line will be NGO CSW65 Virtual Forum Advocate Login Information. And that email you'll want to open. It'll look something like this. And you'll scroll down to this blue button in the middle that says sign in to website and mobile app. And they want you to note that this particular link that this is in this button pertains specifically to you and your registration that you've already submitted on Eventbrite. So this can't be forwarded to anyone else or shared with anyone else. This is specific to your particular registration and your login information. And so we will click on that. And from there, it will take us back to the forum page itself, where we will have the opportunity to set up our account, add more information, potentially add a photograph of yourself if you would like for others to be able to see a bright smiling face to go along with your name when interacting with you. And so the first screen you'll come to when you click that blue button from your email will be the page where you'll claim your account. So essentially here, you're setting up an account on the NGO forum website, and you'll see they've already filled in your first name, last name, and your email address, which are the details that you gave on the Eventbrite registration form. And in the last box, you'll be prompted to create a password for yourself. Once you've typed your password into that bottom box, you'll want to check this box agreeing to the terms and conditions of this website, and then click Complete Profile. If you click on Complete Profile, then you'll be brought to this page where you'll have the opportunity, as I said, to upload a photo here. So you can click on that and it will allow you to upload any photo that's already on your computer in the same way that you would attach a photo to an email. And here you also have access to your other details associated with your account. So if you wanted to change the email or the password associated with it, change any of the way that your name appears, you could do all of that here. You can also add information on the right side about your title and your organization. You can even add a phone number if you'd like, and a description. You also have the opportunity on this side to give yourself certain tags, depending on what your particular area of focus is within the concept of gender equality. And this is useful for the fact that once you are interacting with other individuals on this platform who are participating in the conference, it may help steer you toward other people who have the same kind of sub-interest as you. And so if you have tags on your name, then others who share that interest will also be able to identify you as someone who has that common interest. And so, for example, I might select for myself here, inclusive development and environmental conservation. And given, of course, the group that we're all coming from, I'll want to put faith and religion. And as you can see, you can select several of them. You don't have to stick to just one. And once you've clicked on them, they appear here in your box labeled topics of focus. You also have the option to label which region you are coming from in the world, or which region you would like to be interacting with. Again, in order to help people find each other who have common interest, or in this case, a common geographic point of origin. And given my nature of my personal work, I'm going to select global for this option since I am organizing across many countries. And once I'm happy with all of the details that are available on my profile page, I will scroll down to the bottom and again, find this blue box that says save and select that. And now I am back at the main page of the forum and my profile is in place. And so now I can start exploring all of the excellent offerings that are available throughout the forum. And some important highlights, there are many options to choose from, as you can see here across the top banner of the screen. One of the most useful and important sections will of course be the schedule of events. And you'll see there you have the option of looking at the entire agenda, which is quite lengthy and in-depth. And you'll also have this option here to create your own personal agenda. So I'll take you first to the main agenda page, where you can see all of the offerings on each day. So you have all of the days of the forum across the top here. You can select any one of those to see a different day. And then scroll down, you'll see they're listed chronologically in order of the hour that day. So beginning at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and proceeding through the day. And each time you see an event that jumps out at you as something that you want to be sure that you attend, you have the option of selecting this plus sign, this blue plus sign in the corner for that event. And when you click on that, it is then added to your personal agenda. You can do that for as many events as you would like. You can see here the details offered under each event. You have information about speakers, the time, who's organizing it, and if you want more information, you can click on the title of the event. For many of them, you'll also find some type of conversation or details or event description as well. And if you want to participate in a conversation that's happening about that event, you have the option to leave a comment in this chat box here on the right side. Again, up here, you can click on the plus sign if you're interested in attending the event, and that will reserve you a spot. And that brings us to, again, if you go to the schedule portion at the top banner of your screen and go to My Agenda, then you'll see this will keep track of all of the events that you have highlighted for yourself that you have indicated you're interested in attending. And so that will kind of keep a more concise schedule available to you to help you sift out all the things you have indicated are interesting, to help sift them out from the full list. Going back to home here, you'll see, of course, there are many other options to check, and I encourage you to explore those. Under the People tab, you can find other advocates like yourself who are participating in the forum and who are engaging with this platform. You can find partner organizations. You can also check out the exhibit hall. And in the exhibit hall, we have a number of kind of open-ended events, more or less. These are open rooms or online spaces that various organizations have signed up to host and be receptive to visitors throughout the forum and offer programming at various times in their exhibit halls throughout the forum. So if you want to scroll down, you are able to see who is hosting a booth space during the forum. And in particular, I want to draw your attention to one booth being sponsored by one of our religious congregations that is represented among us, which is the Congregation of Our Lady of Charity of the Good Shepherd. So if you are interested in exploring any of the booth spaces, I strongly encourage checking that one out and seeing the interesting content that will be on offer there. And finally, whenever you're ready to leave this space, you can come up to the account box at the top and select Log Out. And from there, just confirm that you indeed do want to be logged out. And then you have safely exited the platform and your account has been secured and you are on the login page that you will need to re-enter your login information, email and password next time you want to engage with the platform. As you can see, this is a really interesting tool. It has a lot to offer, and the best way to understand it is really to get in and start playing on your own. So I encourage you to go forth from this training and start experimenting, start playing, and get yourself comfortable so that you can have a nice smooth ride and really make the most of your experience on Pathable platform during the CSW. So in order to watch the official proceedings of the Commission on the Status of Women, meaning the events and negotiations and debate that will be happening inside the UN or among government delegates. You will want to go to an entirely different place from the Pathable platform that's being used for the civil society events. So for the government discussions and events, you will want to go to webtv.un.org. So you can see in the top left corner here. And there each day you will see a schedule along the right-hand side of the screen telling you what events are happening at what time. You will also have as an immediate screen one of the events that's happening at the moment that you log on. But if you scroll down, you'll also find several live now events listed across this section of the page. And if you scroll further, you can also see a full backlog of all the events that have happened and have been uploaded to this site thus far. And you will see that you have several language options that you can select from as well, which means that you can select specifically if you're looking for events that are available in a specific language. You can narrow your search by selecting which language there. Or if you want to see all the videos that there are to choose from and then later winnow down according to language, you can select See All Videos here on the right. And that will take you to this full listing, and they're listed in kind of the order of most recent is at the top. And then the further down you scroll, you will find older videos. And again, you have the option for searching on the side that you can look for videos available in a specific language as a way to narrow your search. So as the CSW proceeds, the UN Secretariat itself will continue uploading more videos to this page. So in case you missed anything due to time zone or other commitments, you're able to go back and catch any of the proceedings or particular events that you may have missed when they were being aired live.